So, you're telling me that the Warriors got Chris Paul for free? Now, you might be thinking to yourself what I mean by that, but here's the deal. The Warriors might have finessed the system further than what we could have ever expected. This Lester Quinones, a 22-year-old score-first Dominican hooper with an impressive skill set.
Let's settle things down. Back out. Quinones knocks down. Quinones from deep.
Something identical to ex-Warriors rising star, Jordan Poole. In fact, Poole and Lester Quinones feel so similar to one another that social media is pulling plays exactly the same, featuring both of these guys in action.
Are you showing him Jordan Poole tape? What's going on here? A lot of Dub Nation is talking about the similarities. Did he train with Jordan Poole? Did he kind of look up to Jordan Poole? He even wears the same wristband on the, or tape or wristband on the same wrist, I believe.
Take a look at it for yourselves and tell me, are we crazy for making this comparison? I mean, gosh. It's the movement of off the ball, the way both of them catch the pass, the footwork, and the way they plant their feet off the catch. And of course, the shot motion in and of itself is scary similar to what the Warriors already had just recently with Jordan Poole, who was working his way to stardom with that same skill set before he hit a bit of a setback. But why should any of this even matter? Why are we talking about some kid who hasn't played a dribble of actual meaningful basketball and as someone who's primarily been a G Leaguer thus far in his career? Well, the answer is simple. In a league where coming by young, developing talent is a tall and daunting task, the Warriors, incredibly, might have found one right under their own bed. And even better, he might have got the perfect amount of developing time in the G League to play NBA minutes with Steph and company as a more seasoned player. Quinones only suited up for 4 games in the 2023 season for the Warriors, a team that already lacked consistent bench play all season long. Instead, he suited up for 31 games for the Santa Cruz Warriors in 2023, averaging a super solid 22 points, 7 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists, making a name for himself as one of the very best shot creators off the dribble and an elite shooter. And thanks to all of the above, he ran away with the G League's 2023 Most Improved Player Award in the process of showcasing all that talent. The Warriors actually did sign Quinones to a 10-day contract at the end of the season, which no one really paid much attention to at the time. But after his recent resurgence in the NBA Summer League again, folks are excited to see what he'll bring to the table in the upcoming 2024 season on a Warriors team that is desperately looking to surefire their second unit. While we'll still have to wait and see whether or not the Warriors actually bring him in to stay next season, I mean, how can you overlook what this kid has been doing under the somewhat bright summer league lights? What, so you're telling me big celebrities and NBA superstars don't come out to see these games or aren't glued to their TVs wanting to know who the next best young star in the NBA could become? Yeah, right. But look, through his first 5 summer league games, Lester Quinones averaged over 23 points per game on 45% shooting from the field overall and 41% shooting from three-point range. Get this. He's shooting that ultra-hot percentage while, so far, having attempted the most three-pointers of any player in these summer league games. That's a huge sample size, you know? I mean, these are some hugely impressive performances that most guys aren't able to put together with scouts and GMs watching carefully. His 31-point outburst against the Dallas Mavericks was nasty. His 26-point game against the Kings was too, and a number of other 20-plus point performances that are surely making Warriors management sit back and say, well, damn, we might just have to let this kid cook next season. And he's talked his talk too, completely unfazed and showing razor-sharp focus and commitment to establishing what could be a promising NBA career. His response when asked about his ongoing surge? Ultimate confidence right now. I'm just trying to lead these guys. Get out here and get this win today. We're making a lot of great plays. Sometimes you're sacrificing your shot for someone else's better shot, and I feel like that's how we've been hooping today, and I love it. How can you not love that if you're the higher-ups in Golden State? Certainly if you're Steph, who'd love that fire starter coming off their bench going haywire. In fact, that might have been a big reason to why these two legends felt the need to take some time out and support these youngsters, especially Quinones, who clearly has one goal in mind, and he feels that he can really capitalize on the opportunity right now.
Like, I'm trying to win every drill. I don't care who we going against. It's Steph, Clay, Dre, all those guys. I'm trying to win all those drills. So definitely bringing that competitive edge about myself to the team.
Now, I know what everyone is wondering. How likely is Quinones to secure a spot on the roster? The Warriors will have 13 players under guaranteed contracts this offseason, leaving room, of course, for 2 other players, unless they decide to release someone unexpectedly. Though there are notable NBA free agents remaining on the market, the Warriors might have the perfect, inexpensive in-house candidate worthy of filling one of those remaining 2 spots. Now, according to several reports out there, the Warriors are more likely going to be quiet the rest of this offseason, leaving the slightest chance for a potential buyout candidate that becomes later, or even more unlikely, some trade that the front office decides to pull off. But in other words, they're going to stand pat for the foreseeable future. And with the Warriors having already locked up Draymond Green to maintain the core of Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and now with the addition of CP3, the truth is, all it's going to take is a couple of guys on team-friendly deals that could make that bit of a difference for this Warriors team. Lester Quinones, a restricted free agent who was extended a 2-way qualifying offer by the Warriors earlier this offseason, has obviously played well enough during the California Classic and Las Vegas Summer League that it's opened the door for Golden State to plunge and give him a full roster spot. Actually, the Athletic's Anthony Slater reported in the second week of July that Quinones would be a, quote, leading candidate for a roster spot if the Warriors go the route that most teams take and that they hold an internal competition between a few players and see who impresses the most to be awarded the spot. And if I were to put something on it, I'd say willingly that the Warriors would benefit the most with a guy as talented as Quinones. He's savvy, and clearly he has time to grow and develop playing in the G League, which for some guys is exactly what the doctor ordered, in that it gives them just that bit extra prepping before stepping onto the NBA stage.
It's showing their faith in me and they're trusting me, but like you said, it doesn't stop here. I just got to get in the gym more, and like you said, just to solidify my spot on the roster, I would say. So getting the extra work in, watching more film, doing all the other little things to where I could get to a point where Steve could trust me out there on the court.
That's weirdly what happened with even Jordan Poole. Yes, Poole came into the NBA clearly a few steps below completely NBA worthy, and the Warriors allowed him time to mature more and develop a bigger skill set, and voila, he came back averaging around 20 points per game as the second scoring option for a team that won the championship in 2022. Yes, extra time to grow for some guys is just what they need. While it'd be plainly presumptuous to say that Quinones has had time to grow and that he'll step right in and produce at a worthy level, it isn't too far-fetched to say either. He's shown his excellent ability in knowing the Warriors system and culture that allows young players to thrive in the roles. Who's to say this 22-year-old kid can't step into a bench role and succeed with a legend like CP3 and, of course, Steph Curry tutoring him and showing him the ropes to stardom? This is getting more and more interesting by the day. Weigh in here. How much of a future does this young man have in the pros in your eyes? Can he and will he step into a dynastic culture like Golden State and help make their bench unit as strong as it's been in years?